You'd have to ask the last tax assessor or the last town meeting.
But I think that's gonna continue, like, I know people who are businesses, and I called them up, I'm like, what do you got, you know, what is it? And they're like, I didn't get a letter, I don't know what you're talking about. So it's like, the inequality and unfairness is gonna continue, there's still businesses
It's
that
gonna
aren't
take
getting
time
that.
for us to pick up everything.
Then for the past 7 years, we've been paying equipment tax
That's
and
right.
whatever.
If you
Then
know,
are you gonna ask these people if they've been in that business that long to catch up?
no, we're starting fresh.
Okay.
But if you
Then
know
then
the
that's good,
business
that's a
you're
good thing, I'm just stating a fact
Oh, yeah,
here
you're gonna turn in your
that I don't
fellow business
understand why other businesses have it, and why is it a surprise to other people?
I cannot say what my predecessor did. I don't know how his mind worked.
I think the biggest thing is that she's trying to point out actually is that you keep bringing up these big businesses, and there are some of us small businesses that have been paying this right along. It's not
Yeah.
just,
Oh, yeah,
it
it's
isn't
not
just
just
the
big
big,
business.
huge guys.
How it got randomly chosen that some got billed and some didn't, I don't know. I cannot explain that.
I've had some people come to me and say, look, when my predecessor sent me a form a couple of years ago and I asked him about it, he said, well, if you don't wanna do it, don't. So I can't answer why things were not done in the past. But what I can tell you is that we're trying as hard as we can to do a fair job. If you know businesses that aren't on the list, let me
What,
know.
I'm gonna like tell on them, like, I feel like I'm a rat.
This isn't grade school, man.
It may not be.
This is the real world.
Yeah, but these are people you have to meet with every day.
It's,
You
I
don't
was under, like I
count
said,
people,
I've been
believe
under,
me.
I've been under the, you know, like, under the radar. I didn't even know, I know Mr. Partridge, not a thing was ever said, I didn't even know what was going on, I had no idea. I'm a real good friend of Fern's, you know, grew up with them. I have no, they pay it, I had no idea, never heard of it.
And why it was never, why people didn't complain that, well, I'm paying and so is, I don't know
No,
either.
there was
But
no word of
that's
mouth
not
around,
anybody's
kept quite
business, so
quiet.
people don't talk about it. You know, so that's why questions like that are coming out now.
The one thing that I'm very concerned about with this whole thing, you've got a whole bunch of businesses here that are the basis of this community. Whether you want to believe it or not,
Yep.
this is the community.
Yep.
And if you start making it harder on these people and driving them out, you're gonna have a lot more black buildings out there, and your tax rate, your taxes are gonna go down in this town. Now, these people are just making it. We agreed as a council, and my other fellow councilors can attest to this, that we would go after land only this year. We didn't say anything about personal property tax. We didn't say anything about any other taxes that we were gonna try to recover. We said land only. And now we're trying to sneak this in here and drive it down the throat of these businesses. And I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna suggest that they all do. They come to every council meeting and they beat the councilors so bad that they drive this thing right down you guys' throat because it's bull crap. These guys do not need this at this time. We have just voted in a big expansion on Route 9. We voted in a big expansion in the school. We're spending money on water department this year. They're paying their property taxes to the best of their ability. Every time there's something that goes on in this community, these are the people that stand up and they pay and they contribute and they help. And I'm not gonna sit here as a counselor for these people and listen to this crap. Because this is just what this is. It's crap. This is not something that has to be enforced this year. We're having a hard time. Back off. Give them their property tax. We're gonna shove a couple mils extra down their throat now. We know we're gonna end up doing that whether we want to or not. Back off the personal property tax and we'll recover it at a later date. But right now is not the time to do it. That's my speech.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I didn't get to ask a question, you interrupted me. But what I was wanting to know is that in most of the towns that I've been in, the personal property tax is a law. I mean, it's been put into effect in the town, it's a town law. If you don't pay a personal property tax, they have the right to go and tax your property, just like the federal government does if you don't pay your wondering, they even go so far as to have audit rights in other cities. So I'm wondering, have you made this a law for Lisbon? Is this a law now?
Towns don't make those kind of laws,
You get your council.
all tax laws are made by the state. And they tell the towns, we want you to do this, we want you to do that.
So it's not something that,
Nothing we have any control over.
I called the state, and they said it was optional to the town. It was an option to the town.
Well, how do you explain
I don't
that
know, I
to all
called
the
on
other
the
people
phone.
who've been paying?
This
That's
gentleman,
my question.
okay,
You know, if the council wants to say, don't go out and collect personal property tax, they can tell us that.
yeah,
And we'll stop.
it makes my life a lot
But-
easier.
Don't think for 1 minute
right
that
now.
some of these bigger companies there's $40 million worth of personal property tax that this town collects. You take that out of the revenue stream, all your taxes are gonna go up. It won't make any difference. $40 million is a lot of money. Multiply that times 25, 50, and tell me what you're gonna collect. Because that's gonna go back on everybody else.
Basically, what looks like to me is you guys opened up a can of worms. And
We're just doing
I
our
know
job,
you're
and we
doing
didn't
it. I
know we were opening
understand
up a
that.
can
I
of worms.
understand. You're trying to do your job, but you did open up a can of worms.
No doubt about it.
And,
I'd
now
love
you
to
have-
close it.
We just, I was
If the
told,
council wants to do that, that's their call. We will do what they want.
we discussed what we wanted to do with taxes earlier this year, and the council said we need to do this, so we're doing it.
Not the personal property tax.
No, the council, let me explain what the
This has
council,
been in business a long time.
the council voted strictly, it was a revaluation. That's what they voted on. It has nothing to do with personal property tax.
That's exactly right.
Personal property tax, just like everything else in real estate tax. You send out a bill, you ask people to declare if it's anything new that they added to their home or anything like that. That's a normal procedure, Roger. Okay, the reval is totally different than that. Collecting personal property tax and collecting real estate tax is a standard procedure. That's how you get all the services that this town wants. If the council wants to vote and tell the town manager and tell the assessor they don't want to collect personal property tax, have at it.
We can't
I'll do my
it.
job just
We
like
have
I
been doing it.
If we drive these people out of town, then it's not gonna be to advantage. And that's what's gonna happen. They're right on the edge now.
I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've never seen a business close because of property tax, personal property.
No, but a combination of
Can it be
all
enforced?
the
Yeah,
taxes
it
will.
can be
the council
enforced.
does vote to have it done, can it be enforced?
They can put a lien on your personal property.
Well, no.
No,
File
You got a lien
UCC.
on my
I'm
personal
saying, what,
property.
you know, where, is
On
there
your
any
bill.
way to get some teeth into it?
And I know
Sometime they might- I didn't-
Is there any, I mean, is there any way so that the town, if the town should decide, the council or whoever, if they should decide, okay, you know, this is gonna, we're gonna make this uniform for everyone, is there any way that it can be enforced so that it is fair for everyone?
if people fail to file,
The town tells the
I am
state
required by law
how much
to
personal property
estimate
there is,
their
and the
value and
state
send them a tax
reimburses
bill.
them.
And the tax bill is legal and basically
That's what
the courts won't hear an appeal.
Michelle?
I'll get into my reason for my question first. Excise tax that we pay on our vehicles and whatnot. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the state mandate that tax to them toward that the towns collect it, pay it into the state for road repair?
We don't pay excise tax into the state. All the excise tax revenue stays here.
Right, for road repair though, right? It was originally designated for road repair,
And that's what
correct?
it's, we do general fund budgeting. All the money goes into one pot, and then we use our funding to offset the tax rate.
Right.
So we say we collected $500,000 in excise tax. That offsets our municipal budget. It also is used, our public works budget. It's also used for any kind of road repairs. You can itemize it and break it down that way, but it all goes into one pot,